Howdy, partner.
Howdy. Welcome to season 3. Can you figure out whose voice is who? Because I bet you can. Hopefully, you've been with us long enough that you know whose voice is who. But if you are new, I'll let you know for episode 1. I am the one and only Tara, Tara, but you say it hard A, Tara. And my beautiful co host that I love ever so dearly.
Hi, I'm Victoria.
And we've made it, y'all. It's season 3 of Frequency Broads, in case you're new here, because, you know, we all got a frequency and we're all broads. Gender aside, we're all broads. So we want to start this season off a little different, or our episodes a little bit differently. More just like what's happening, what's real, where are we at right now, with a little vibe check. But we need your help because we don't like the term vibe check very much. So we're toying around with a couple ideas. If you guys have any that you want to share with us, Victoria dropped to me using freak as in the beginning of frequency, like a freak check. And I'm like, hold up. Wait, now that I just said that, I kind of really love that. Freak check.
Right? Freaky.
It's like, I'm a freak. Freak check. Oh, that's a yes from the universe. So freak check, Victoria. We'll use that for now. You guys let us know what you think about it. How you feeling?
I am so raw and vulnerable and just like hormonal. And
Mm.
I'm like, of course I feel this way on the day we decided to record. And it's I feel like there's always some sort of like something that arises before we get on here. And I'm like, all right, I'll let whatever is moving through me move through me. But like here I am.
But in what capacity, right? Like, is it moving through you in the way you speak? Is it moving through you in your tears? I guess we're going to find out. Episode 1. How are you going to move through that? For me, I don't know. I'm feeling real silly right now. I think that's the vibe I wanted to come in with, the freak I wanted to come in
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
I I like spent all morning cleaning my house, doing chores and shit because we went on a float yesterday. For y'all, it'll be a couple days ago. That was supposed to be 3 hours. That ended up 6 hours.
Ooh.
Beautiful, but also exhausting. Um, and I'll speak a little bit more in the next episode about that because I have a fun story to share. But so me and Andrew really kind of whipped into shape this morning cleaning up. And when I was like, okay, normally I ground myself before our episodes, and this is something we're going to reflect on, is a little bit of how our voices, we feel we want to change our joint frequency, our joint energy this season. But instead of grounding, I was like, we're going to amp this shit up. And I put on those songs I was just talking about, and I just like twerked for like 5 minutes before sitting down, already sweating. So I'm actually feeling really good. Um, I feel fall's coming. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and that makes me extremely excited. I am ready for fall. I'm in my fall shirt, and that's how I'm feeling.
I know, I noticed your fall shirt when we logged on, and I'm like, this is pretty much my last opportunity to show off my tan that I got yesterday while out on the river. And I don't know. I'm like, these sun codes have been intense this summer. August
Holy
was,
yes.
yeah. I mean, I don't know any other word other than intense to describe it, but we moved through it. We made it. And now I think
Yeah.
the contrast of things like settling down and feeling more at ease or at peace, and you're, being encouraged to move inward, I'm like, holy shit, where did we just come from?
Yeah, dude, it's so funny you said that too, because when I was on the river, I'm like, trying to be present, appreciating myself. I recognized the sun all of a sudden. Like it just like came into my mind. I was like, oh, sun. And I was like, oh, I'm sitting here and getting sun codes. And then like right there was like this really amazing realization about abundance that I got.
Mm,
And I was like, oh my God, it really is so quick. Like when you tap into that, right? Like we're constantly getting sun codes. And when you just recognize, when you sit there and you're like, oh, well, what are these codes kind of trying to tell me? It's like,
yeah.
there it is, right here. And it's usually just like a simple thing that you knew just locks in a little bit deeper. And you're just like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I won't wear sunscreen because I need more codes. Just kidding. Wear sunscreen. Well, the right kind of sunscreen. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Ugh. But then you look like a ghost. It's like a whole freaking
Super
thing.
Goop, baby. Have you tried that Super
But
Goop?
it's
S
wait, is it literally called Supergoop? No, I
It's, like, some of
haven't.
the
Is
best.
it
Okay, next time we go out, you're using some of mine because I have it in the spray and
does
the
it rub
lotion.
in though?
Well, I have spray or lotion,
Oh.
and the face sunscreen is my favorite.
See, here's my thing. I love spray sunscreen. Super easy. You're like getting in all the nooks and crannies. But if you're not facing the right direction of the wind, you
Mm.
lose it all. You lose it all. So that's my downfall with the spray
Well, and
sunscreen
then
is like,
aerosol cans, and actually, when I was
yeah.
in Austin earlier this year, we were at Barton Springs, and there's, like, one guard just walking through the field of people laying out, and there are these girls all using spray sunscreen, and it was, like, smoking out the place with
Oh
sunscreen,
God.
and this girl went over and, like, complained to, like, the lifeguard guy and was like, "This sunscreen is not environmentally friendly, and it's getting everywhere and all over us, and it's gonna get into the water, and it's gonna get into the grass," and, like and I was like, "Whoa, I thought we were crazy here in Portland, but Austin took it to a whole 'nother level with that shit."
Damn. I mean, she ain't wrong. She just was a little angry,
And
but hey,
we all
respect,
pick
you
our
know?
battles, I suppose.
Yeah. I got too many battles. I can't be battling the sunscreen monsters out there. You know what I mean? At least they're protecting themselves from skin cancer. So power to you.
Yeah.
You got to die of something, right? That's what I always say.
Well, hopefully with your skin intact.
Yes. Until, well, I digress. Anyway, so this vibe check, we're
Freak
feeling,
check.
we're feeling good. We're feeling freak check,
Freaky.
freaky check, freaky check.
Wait, I really do wanna share today that I went to see 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes recently, and I've always wanted to live in New York, ended up moving across the country instead of to N New York, and I'm like, Tara is obviously my little piece of New York, and I just have this, like, newfound respect because I feel like Bay Area rappers have taken over what I listen to for the most part, but I'm like, hardcore New York rappers, root of my heart, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
like, weirdly represent just that, like, attitude and scariness. Just kidding. You're so scary.
Well, that's funny too because I not that I've been like listening to new music per se, but a lot of new artists have been coming up either on our Instagram when I'm on it or in my Discovery Weekly on Spotify, and it's all like rap, R&B, EDM, which is like my main genres, but it's all high frequency music. So
Ooh,
they're like really good fucking raps, but they're just like, I'm just gonna vibe my frequency and
yes.
everything will attract me. And I'm like, okay, I'm like twerking to like high frequency music. And I'm like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. One of the artists I started following, and they were talking about how they always loved rap, but it's very like judgmental and kind of has that angry tone to it sometimes, not always. And those things are good. We need to release that energy, but also can we create music that's just like positive? Like not that all rap or all rock or whatever is negative, but it's just like this very like intentional frequency set music that I've been fucking vibing to.
Speaking of which, we will be putting out a playlist for the season of fall, and I hope you put a couple of those songs on there.
I will. Well, I'm actually going to do what I've been telling you I'm going to do with the Spiritual Bops playlist. And it's because the reason why it hasn't happened is because now I got all these artists that are like actual spiritual bops,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or energetic bops.
Mhm.
So that's why. That's why. So there'll be a couple playlists coming out for season 3, you know, a little. You hear that?
Kinda, what was that?
Bippy laying on his back having a hairball.
Oh god.
Anyway. So, with season 1 at the end, we started season 2 with a little reflection, right? So, I just want to offer 2-second reflection to just say thank you to
Mm.
all of our community who came and joined us. It was so powerful and juicy to just be the container.
Yeah.
Victoria and I have been able to toy with being the container and the channel for each other and as a collective. So just being able to hold that space for someone and continue to like dig a little bit deeper as we ask those questions really resonated with so many people. We got so much feedback about how mentors and teachers and practitioners they never met resonated with them so well. So thank you, our community, for joining us. I loved that.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. I know there have been some really beautiful connections made, and that's what really fills my heart with joy is when people connect and find ways to inspire and educate each other. So, yay to connections.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yay to stats. We love our data, and I just want to shout out because we do get
Data us up. Let's go,
metrics
girl.
through
Woo!
the
What is it?
podcast. This does not include YouTube because we don't know who's listening to us or watching us on YouTube, but
I'm sure there's a way to find out. We just really haven't
I
looked
think
that much
no, I
into it.
haven't. We like need more followers. So, like, share,
Well, call
subscribe.
to action. Like, share, subscribe. We need followers because otherwise we don't know who the hell you
Yeah,
are.
and we want the data. Okay, I just want to shout out like the top 5 cities with
Ooh, ooh.
I mean, okay, Portland. Thanks, homies. We love you.
Thank you.
I'm like, we're they all us.
Yeah. It's just us re-listening over and over. There's no one else in Portland listening right now.
Oh my gosh. New York coming in at number 2.
Woo, woo. Yes, bitches. My New York homies, thank you so much.
Actually, I have a few New York homies in there too. So, I see you, Sam. Seattle, number 3. Okay, cool. I don't
Crazy.
Seattle, awesome.
I don't
I'm
yeah,
like,
I love
we
that.
love
That made me
Seattle,
sick. Like, yes, bitch.
except the Seahawks. I don't know. The Steelers are playing the Seahawks on New Year's Eve, and I'm just saying we're gonna win.
Girl, don't make us lose any followers, okay? Nope, we love all Seattle, guys, I promise.
Oh, sports rivalry is such a strange way to like let your aggression out.
Right?
Okay, coming in at number 4, Vermont,
Ooh, yes, Vermont. We love you,
and my
Rachel.
mom.
Yes.
Yep, we do love you, Rachel. Wait, where am I on the list? Oh, and San Diego. Yay to see. We love San
Which
Diego.
my head explodes. I mean, I feel like Victoria and I have done our best in our authentic way to put ourselves out there, but at the same time, I truly do feel it's been mostly word of mouth. Unless, please, listeners, also, we need a name for our listeners. Just if you guys have a suggestion, little freak shows, okay? Um, but we would love to hear how you found us because I know I went to Spirit Weavers in the beginning of the summer. I made a lot of connections there. I don't know where they live. Maybe that's where you're coming from. So we would love to hear how you found us because this is making my heart just melt and my brain explode that we're reaching. Also, hold on. Can we talk about, and you screenshotted the stats, Victoria, so I know you saw it. Other countries?
Yes, other countries.
What? I literally was running around my house this morning like, Andrew? Belgium? Canada? What? Who? Where, what, who, when, how, why? Right? That's not even, there's dyslexia, not even in the right order. The 5. Fuck. God damn it. Well, anyway, we just want to say thank you. This is so exciting. And I know a goal for us too is to have more engagement with our community this year or this season or for the rest of our Frequency Broads experience. So we'd love to hear how you found us. We'd love to hear stories of your life that resonate or things that clicked in from listening to us And maybe this season we can share, with your permission, of course, some of your stories. So, Instagram, TikTok, email. Do we have anything else? I think that's it. We'll have a website at some point. But for now, you know where to find us. Reach out to us. Tell us your story. How did you find us? What's your life up to? What's your sun code? I don't know. Whatever you want. I'm here for it. Whatever you want.
You know what my dream is for this podcast to one day have live call in. Hold on, live call in callers. What's the like a
Call
hotline? I want a hotline.
There you go, hotline. You girl, you have been saying that since before the podcast was a thing. You were like, "I just wanna be in a position where people are calling in and we're sharing stories and I'm helping people out." So, let's do it, people. Make it happen.
What's that movie like Sleepless in Seattle where the little boy calls and
Yes.
like I want that type of dynamic. Maybe this is not the right platform, but
Like Delilah.
I don't
You remember Delilah?
know.
I don't remember her radio station, but she would
Oh, yeah.
always
That was
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah, very similar. So just call us. We'll talk really like, calm and like whatever you need. We're here. We'll play this jazz song to make you feel better. Not really. I love you, Delilah. I hope you're still doing your thing. But
I love that
hell
that's
yeah.
your calm
Let's
voice.
What? That wasn't calm? That's
It
calm?
was a little, like, sensual seduction, but
Well, bitch, that's the only time you're gonna get me calm. We'll save that for episode 2, play and pleasure, okay? Hold on for that one.
but actually, I think the theme for today I mean, we're gonna talk about fall, but I've been thinking about what it means to relax because coming out of summer, that was go, go,
Mm.
go, do, 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 dee, dee, dee.
Doo doo doo.
And, yeah, I think relaxing is such an interesting thing, and I think there's so many ways that we've been trained and, or brainwashed to, like, resist relaxing, and you can't
Oh god,
experience
yeah.
pleasure without being a little relaxed, so
Absolutely. But fall, man, is that transition period, right? So when I was thinking about fall, for a second I was like, well, if resting, right? It's similar to like when you brought the concept of like incubation period from
mm,
like rebirth and death, like that
mhm.
incubation period. I was like, what the like summer, like you said, is action. Go, 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 go. And we know winter is like full rest. So I was like, what is this fall? And then I realized it is. It's that transition period. It's the slow kind of navigating way between still gathering in community, right? Thanksgiving, the harvest, coming together, but also like learning to pull away from all the do and needing to go to every social interaction. And yesterday after my 6-hour float, I was supposed to go to a friend's show. Shout out Pat. Sorry I missed you. Um and I get caught, we all get caught up in this like FOMO where we're like, oh my God, I don't want to miss out. Everybody's going. It's going to be so much fun. And I had that, but my whole body was like, girl, no. You think floating's relaxing, and it very much is. But at the same time, it's exhausting to be in the sun. It's like a beach day, you're just laying out, the sun knocks you out. And I realized that I get FOMO now. I used to get FOMO for everything, but at this stage of my life, I get FOMO when I'm not invited to things, but when I'm invited to things and I choose not to, I am so fucking happy. Like there is no fear of missing out because I'm like, I got home, I showered, passed out instantly. I was like, this is exactly what I needed. There is no FOMO. So it's this like being able to listen to your body and say like, now's the time that I go and now's the time that I'm going to like take care of myself and find that like harmony in between the two.
I know you were up and chirper? Hold on, chipper? Chirping chirping on my phone? No, you were,
Well,
like,
I was
up super early, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is hello, hi. This is
yeah,
she's rested."
you've heard me describe myself as a sim.
You totally are. I know, right?
Right? Energy bars full, eyes open, ready to go.
And I'm
It's
like
honestly
a
scary.
cat crawling out of the cave, like, ugh. Don't look at
You're
me.
like my cats. They're like, "Ugh."
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, girl, we're getting into rest season. But before we dive into fall, was there anything else as far as reflection or laying out season 3 that we wanted to mention
Hmm.
or check in or fill in our missing days?
Well, a little life update for me. I went through some major purging. I finally cleaned out my closet. I know I talked about that a lot in season one, and like,
Yeah. Wait, literally season 1.
which we're just here to show that sometimes things don't happen overnight. And
Facts, facts.
it's such an energetic release, to let go of the memories tied to certain objects or clothing or whatever. And also, I think there's so much guilt that I have working in sustainability,
Mm.
understanding, well, for hopefully a lot of the clothes will go to other people who they'll fit perfectly and be like their favorite item. That's my
And
vision.
they'll be like, "Wow, what's this frequency I'm wearing right now? It's so juicy."
And it still smells like Chanel a little bit.
Is that what you wear? Because it smells fucking
Thank
fantastic.
you. Yes, Mademoiselle Intense, the
Mm,
intense version specifically, right? Because me.
you're intense.
But I've been just feeling so incredibly grateful for everything in my life. I kind of had this moment, like midway through the summer, where my digestive system was just literally not working anymore. I felt
Mm,
incredibly sensitive to everything that I was eating, and felt this call to, well, not call, I literally had to change what I was eating, how I was eating, when, like the food combining. And it led me to doing a liver cleanse, and it was very subtle, like nothing official, right? I just literally drank cucumber, pineapple, lemon. Sometimes I do a little mint or ginger. But I would do that on an empty stomach first thing in the morning and then before I went to bed. And you think, that sounds
hold on, I'm gonna
so
cut you
good.
off. I'm gonna cut you off and clarify, but you ate during the day.
Yes, I ate during the day, but not a whole lot. Like
Right.
I did
I just don't
smoothies.
want people hearing that and being like, "That's a great idea," and not eat
Yeah,
anything else, you know what I
no,
mean?
for sure. But when I would eat, I would take berberine and peppermint capsules and black seed oil. So those are kind of my go tos right now.
Love black seed oil.
Right? I know my nails, because
Taste, not great,
not
but
great, no, and you really shouldn't drink it with water because it is an oil and water, da, da,
yeah.
da, da, right? So you have I'm like
Da da
I
da
have to, like,
da. Science.
strategically plan when I'm gonna drink my water based around this black seed oil, but I, for the longest time, had shellac nails for, like, years and years, and it got to this point where I'm like, "This is disgusting. I don't want to have this shit on my nails anymore, they're so thin," and I felt like black seed oil really, restored my nails, so but I, learned a lot about the liver and how basically it's like this filter, right? And when it is like stagnant, stuck, clogged, whatever, or full of microplastics or synthetic
Ugh.
bullshit, PFAS, whatever the fuck is in our shit, right? Like it just is not able to fully release all of the toxins that are being filtered. And it really has a huge impact on our hormones and how estrogen specifically is filtered. And so, I'm about to turn 35 in a few weeks, months.
Oh,
Right?
ooh!
And I'm like, "Oh, my body is changing." It's
Mhm.
definitely, yeah, it's just and it's always changing, and it's beautiful to feel so in tune and to be able to cater to my cycles and just let whatever's happening happen and love myself regardless. But holy crap, hormones are just I mean,
Oh,
you gotta
girl.
savor it while we still have them, right? Because I know there comes a point, and I love that menopause is being, kinda demystified, that more and more people, more and more women specifically are talking about perimenopause, menopause, and just, like, their experiences because I mean, you don't know until you get to that point, and it's like, we need to come together and share our stories and how we're surviving and thriving, and I think being in a community of women is really important during that phase in our lives. especially.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hormones are like a fucking mystery. I mean, I'm 30 years old and I'm still rocking that hormonal acne. Only thing that ever stopped it was birth control, which gave me way more terrible side effects than clearing up my acne. You know what I mean? So that was not
Yeah.
happening. But it is something that I'm also researching, and I'm working with a guest of ours who's going to be coming on and talking about this kind of stuff. So I won't get too into it yet. Um, but I'm happy that I could tell. I could tell in your face, I could tell in your energy, in your frequency, baby, that you are cleaned. You are like scrubbed. Like you got detailed and waxed,
Aw.
girl. Ooh, wait, that sounds weird.
Or kinda
Not waxed.
hot.
I mean, maybe you
Waxed? I
did.
mean, my
Yeah.
skin's very soft right now, so
Your skin is always soft,
aw,
girl. It's
thanks.
crazy. You're looking at someone who's got strawberry skin, you know, that little like.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I know my biggest problem
What?
is I'm dehydrated consistently. Like my skin problem, my strawberry skin, I've had kidney problems. It's all because I'm dehydrated. And what do? I don't drink anything because I'm a trash human. And you know what? I work really
No.
fuck. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But
You're
I
heavily
just
on the reptilian side of things.
listen, I am, and I wish my skin would understand that. But I think, yeah, it's just fucking hard to be human. You know, I work so hard on my emotional, spiritual, energetic, mental headspace that sometimes my physical body just like, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. But we're working. That's my goal. That is my goal moving forward. I want to say this year, but we're coming to
Wait, what's
fall
your goal?
to just like take care of my physical body as much as I take care of my spiritual body.
Mm. Alright, alright. I like this.
But I'll tell you that's my goal every month, and I didn't do anything about it. But I
I mean, you
digress.
are, like,
Is there
twerking and moving your
I
booty, so,
am,
I
I
mean,
am. I'm always moving that booty. You gotta.
you gotta give credit where credit's due.
Thank you.
Wait, I
Was
hold on, I did write notes on my reflection, and I think it's funny what I wrote because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, this is grateful." Okay. Detoxing. Uh,
I love how you said grateful and rolled your eyes at yourself. Okay, bitch. We know you're
well, okay,
grateful.
and here's the thing that I do wanna talk about at some point during this season, like, I just have the spiritual ick, like, being deep in the
Mm,
spiritual weeds and, like, it
that's a yeah.
right? Like,
We'll get to that. We
yeah.
will get to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay, but then I also put reprioritizing my energy, becoming superhuman.
Oh, I saw that and I was like, "Ooh, okay. Superhuman bitch. Love that."
Learning what works for me in relationships these days. People pleasing versus self pleasing.
Oof.
Ooh, and then leadership without control.
I saw you write that and I was like, "Whoa, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big."
I'm about to leave for a leadership training through my day job, which I'm really, really grateful to
Day
have
job.
these opportunities. And so I've just been thinking a lot about what it means to be a leader and like what kind of leader am I going to choose to be? Because I don't really think we have a ton of role models to look up to in the leadership sphere and,
Oh,
control.
we don't? That's crazy. What do you mean? The old white government men are not something to look up to?
Like, can't they just be better looking at the least if they're gonna be these evil little monsters?
No, because all that shit makes you look ugly.
And that's why we're so pretty.
Mhm.
Just kidding, but I'm not.
But I'm not though. At me. What else is on the list?
Trust. That was my last word. And we'll just leave it at that,
Trust.
period. Bye.
Okay, so my update, the first thing that when in my it is a joke. In my book, I was like, okay, what has been up in my brain, in my energy since we left? First thing is I was like, damn, I am so happy we took off for Leo season. Leo season is me, 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 me. And no offense, community, but I was like, me, 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 me. I don't want to be thinking about anybody else right now. I gotta square up my shit. There was a big and we'll get more into this throughout the season, big breaking of old patterns, cycles, things that I thought were long gone. You know, Mercury retrograde, Venus in retrograde, the 8-8 portal, the double super moons. It was crazy. Like everything was getting shoved into my face. And I was like, actually, I'm not gonna lie. My guy group came to me yesterday with like a fucking parade. They were like, girl, through all this cosmic hoo ha that's been going on, you stayed clear and you broke patterns. And that's the hardest time to do it. So I did it. Um, a big like a big shift in my understanding of like my perception of me as a teacher, which again we'll get into more later, but just like things that I guess I've been saying a lot but not really truly living, and now I'm like truly understanding that like I just need to embody it and the rest will come. I'm not here to change anybody, right? I'm just here to show the potential of what is. Um and there was something else. Oh, I just realized, and again, something that we say all the time, right? Oh, a cycle of rest and reflect, me. Okay, well, clearly that's the hardest part to do. And I was telling Victoria that over the course of the last year, I've manifested a fucking amount. Like my whole life is so different, and all of the things are like things that I created, right? Frequency broads, my business, my new job, same job, new position. Um, all this shit. And I was like, I'm forgetting to like stop and enjoy it. Like I just felt like I was always looking like, okay, well, what is frequency broads going to be in the future? And what I need to write this curriculum and sell it. And I was like, or not. Or I could just live in what I manifested and fucking enjoy it. Like, what am I chasing after? I did it. I did the damn thing. Let me live the damn thing for a little bit before I'm worrying about the next chase. So it was an interesting kind of introspection with all the energy from summer being like go 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 go, keep pushing, right? And then my body being like, right, that yin yang. When we talked about summer, we said there's that pause in the middle of the day, right? It was that pause to be like, but do I need to? No, I'm really happy and I'm really grateful, and like everything is fucking abundant as hell. I literally get whatever I want. Can I tell a quick side story? Because I was like, Andrew, this is magic. You don't even know this is magic. We went to Veggie Grill. Shout out Veggie Grill, love it. It's like a fast food vegan restaurant. We fought about me getting the cauliflower bites because they were super expensive and I needed like something more protein based. Decided, okay, I won't get it. 2 seconds later, she comes back. She's like, we actually have one less chicken tender than you wanted. So can we offer you a whole nother thing? And I was like, can I get cauliflower bites? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, Andrew, that's abundant. That's magic. I got what I wanted in 5 minutes. Thank you. So just living in my abundant life, feeling grateful, happy that we had that rest. Equally excited to start, but it was a push, like you were saying. I was like, oh God, we got to do this thing now, huh? But I'm happy we're here now that I'm in it. It's like when you get anxiety to go out,
Mhm.
and you're like, I don't want to go out. And then you get there and you're like, this is really fucking fun. This is really fun, guys. I promise.
That was sort of what was coming through to me before we got on. I'm like, you know, you're going to feel better once you're said and done. And it kind of brought up the whole idea. I was like practicing smiling in the mirror because I felt so frowny today. And so I
Yes.
was like just trying to find myself,
Trick your
like trick my
brain.
brain for sure. But I'm like, at what point are you lying to yourself and denying your feelings? Or is this actually
Ooh.
just the way to shift your energy? And you want to, like, we all want to feel good. So like why do we, me specifically, why do I sometimes want to sit in the ick for longer than I need to? And it's probably because
Mm.
the ick felt very comfortable for me for a very long time.
Yeah, because it's probably mostly what you knew, right? Your outside world was the ick. So it became maybe comfortable isn't the right word, but familiar.
Familiar. Yeah, sure.
Ooh. As we're talking about this, my God candle is bonkers. It's like flame this big, black smoke coming up. It's like, get rid of that.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Crazy. But I think it's funny that you mentioned that like smiling, are we like ignoring the ick? And I think it's all you need to do is like check in once, right? Just be like, what is that? Okay. thank you. And then you can smile it away, you could shake it away. That's what I've been doing a lot of just like intuitive movements. But I think we get caught up in either one or the other, right? Just like don't listen to it at all and just try to get it away, or sit in it way too long. So there's like a little, and that's where fall comes in, right? We got to find that little harmonious right in the middle. Did you like my segue? Now we're into fall.
I do like your segue, and it makes that little motion and being in the middle, right? I think, September, October, November are the seasons or the months of fall. And,
Mhm.
represents Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. And these three signs together, I think, are such a beautiful little medley of energies. And it really does soften things after Leo season, which is so
Hmm.
fiery and vivacious and lots of spotlights being shown on many parts of life. But, you know, Libra, the scales, the sign of balance, and having Virgo and Scorpio on either side, Virgo being the maiden, Scorpio being, well, the crone and also the little vixen, right? Um,
Ooh.
I know, right? I'm a Scorpio sun, Tara's a Scorpio rising,
Scorpio
and she's
rising.
a Cancer moon, which is why she's a little crybaby.
Ah, rude. No, that's a fact. I
Honest.
am.
No, it's
Just
sweet.
kidding.
It softens you.
And I'll tell you, I spent most of my life trying to suppress that. So imagine someone who didn't express their emotions or
Yeah.
talk about them, except for when I was at home, right, and safe, um, but had a Cancer moon. Woo, woo.
Suppressing it, I think, it could lead to cancer,
Oh well, I think I let that shit go. God damn.
right?
But I think it's really funny to come out of Leo season into this. Like, obviously, right? It's every year, but it's this weird switch from me, 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 me. And, it's intentional, obviously. Me, but then to the community. And it's like, okay, get your mind right, know your medicine. So that way you can enter the community. And how do you serve others in a healthy way, in a balanced way, in a just way to yourself and them? And we talked about in the past spring episode and summer episode. Yes. I was like, did we do a spring episode? Yes, we did. Um, the ages, right? So spring was till you're 21, you're learning, you're playing, you're exploring. Then summer is the nurturing energy you're giving to others, which is interesting with the Leo dynamic in the summer. It's just very, like, when you look at all the different sides of the coins, you're just like, how does this make sense? But also it does make sense. Um, so it's a lot of like giving, right? And now when we enter in fall, it's ages 42 to like early mid 60s. And it's all about, like, the way that I think of it is like empty nest syndrome,
Mm.
right? Like, not that in the bad way, but you're like, oh, all the things that you've been nurturing are now like flourishing on their own, and you're now just a part of that instead of taking care of it, right? Like, you're just within that community. There's gathering, there's celebration, there's sharing. But it's also, like I said earlier, that like knowing when to step back for yourself and find that self-care, because you're not needed to nurture anymore. You're just a part of the community. So if you need to nurture yourself, you could step back because you know everything is taken care of.
Mhm.
Right? Same with your plants. Like, yeah, you need to go and snip and kind of pull back certain things, but you could also step away, because at this point, we're just getting prepared for the harvest. All the seeds you planted in the spring.
Well, going back to what you brought up about the incubation period in the spring, I'm sort of seeing fall as this integration period of everything that we're, learning how to sync in the light codes, sun codes, and have it last us through the darkness. And how can that like
Mm.
reserve of energy be stored within us and preserved to get us through? And I mean, living in the Pacific Northwest, the best way to get through is to leave and go somewhere sunny in January or February. But, you know, from an energetic standpoint,
I maybe I love the winter. I love the
well,
dark.
no,
I love the
girl,
rain.
I do too. I don't like the summer, I don't like the moon, like, I'm so, like, I don't like the full
Wait,
moon.
you gotta tell them what you realize. When you told me that, I was like,
Totally. So, Tara loves the full moon, does full
love
moon
it.
rituals.
And
You
new
like the
moon.
new
I
moon.
love the
I'm
moon.
more
I
yeah,
love the
yeah,
moon.
you are a total moon baby, hence the Cancer moon, right? Just makes sense. I am so overly stimulated by light codes in the summer. As much as I
Mhm.
love it and it has to be very intentional and I have to have time to integrate everything I'm receiving because it's so overwhelming to my system. Um the full moon just totally wrecks me. Of course my cycle is synced, so I am bleeding with the full moon, so I'm like I may as well just feel bloated and gross and intense and wild and crazy at the same time
Like
each
the
month.
full moon yourself.
Totally, yeah. Um, but I realized that, and I always tell Tara, I'm like, "Full moon ain't shit without the sun," right? Because 'Cause I'm sorry, she's like the moon baby, I'm the sun baby. But, I'm like, I think the full moon's so intense because the sun codes are passing through the moon and that, like, energetic makeup of those 2 kind of casting onto Earth is it's just too much for me.
And when you said that, I was like, how have I never thought of it that way? Like, obviously, we're taught as a kid, it's the sun's reflection, right? The moon is a mirror. It's just, and what do we know about mirrors? It amplifies shit. So, like, how have I never, when you said that, I was like, oh my God, no wonder you hate the full moon. Not hate, but like, it's just challenging for you. Whereas I'm like,
Mhm,
yes,
mhm.
please bring it all to me. Cause I don't know. I just love it. Everything. I love everything.
Do you, Tara?
Maybe,
Yeah,
except for ASMR.
but you're
You know how I feel about
so good at
whispering.
it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frequency Brown.
No,
Now I'm going to drink this drink right here.
and cut.
And that's our podcast. Thank you guys for coming. No, I'm kidding.
As I walk out the
Fall,
door and
yes.
throw the mic and
You're like, I quit. Season 3
fuck
over.
you all.
But I love that you mentioned this, like, coming back, right? I'm bringing us back, right? You always got to bring us back. Conserving energy, right? That if we look at it from like a harvest standpoint, we're harvesting and what can we gather and share from others, but what can we like can and prepare for the winter where we don't have as much accessible to us. So it's that same thing of like how, like you said, like how do we store the energy inside of ourselves to prepare for winter? And a part of that is releasing, right? You can't, like you said, you cleaned all your shit. I mean, every fucking phase has a release, right? But it's really about cutting these cords, releasing, having the moment of grief if you need to, because you need to have all that empty clearing for you to rest easy and for you to hold and store energy or canned food in your pantry energetically for the winter. So, fall is this like tending to yourself while you're part of the community. And within tending to yourself is like cutting cords, getting rid of old shit, which can be daunting. But the reason why we do it now is because it's so community based. So you're not supposed to do it alone. And that has been a really big theme for me this break that we've just had, is recognizing how much I still hold on to the fact that I need to do things by myself. And my ego is like, you're superior. No one can do it as good as you. And it's like, but I don't need to. Maybe no one can do it the way that I can do it because I'm unique. No one can take care of the things or harvest the way that you can, but that doesn't mean that no one else can do it, right? So rely on others before we're about to go into the darkness. Feed that soul, feed your cup.
Just feed my mouth. I get
I was
so
gonna, I don't know
hungry
why
at
I
this
wanted
time
to,
of year.
girl, Thanksgiving. Hate what it stands for. Don't like turkey because I'm a vegan, but Andrew makes a good seitan roast, let me tell you. And I love, oh, mashed potatoes are my favorite food. Oh my God. Corn on the cob. Shit. Okay.
I know, Thanksgiving is my least favorite holiday. I always would either fake sick or be sick for Thanksgiving so I could, like, not have to go to grandma's for dinner or lunch or whatever. I was like,
Aw, grandma, we love
we do
you.
love grandma. My grandma's still alive, kicking it in Pennsylvania. I love her so deeply. She's
Aw,
97, which
we
is
love
wild,
her. Wow, good for her. Hey,
right?
good for
Right?
her.
Good
Love
genes.
that. We love you, grandma. Do you call her
Mhm.
grandma? My grandma's called Yaya.
Aw.
Are we Greek? No, we're not. Is she crazy? Abso-fucking-lutely, but I love her.
Wait, I wanna go back to the topic of the moon, which I never thought I would
Oh, yeah.
say.
Mhm. You wanna talk about the moon?
I wanna talk about whether or not you like or believe or subscribe to astrology or use it in your toolkit. I guarantee you one really amazing, fun little fact is if you search the moon phase at the time that you were born and how it corresponds to your personality, it is going to like confirm so much for you. So, I was born during a balsamic moon, which is like one of the darkest times, right? I know you're you're laughing
I
at the
can't.
balsamic moon.
I am balsamic. I'm like, "Okay, vinaigrette
I
moon?
know, I
Continue."
know. Well, bougie, but that moon phase is known for just really needing time alone to recharge and kind of celebrating my introverted side, and I really needed that confirmation because I think there's this part of me where I go out into the world and I'm like this bright light and I want to share my heart with everyone, but then I
Mhm.
have to recharge. Why am I saying it weird?
Recharge.
Recharge alone.
Wait, can you just, like what do you just take you don't need the time you're born, right? So anyone could just
No, so you
Google
only need the
the
time for your
day.
rising sign. Yeah. You
Right.
need
So I could just Google the day and the
you need the location. Yep.
even for the phase of the moon? You need the
Mhm.
location? Mm. Oh, okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Science. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Anyways, the moon. Well, fall. Okay, so I one word that
Well,
well, fall.
fall.
I mean, let's full circle it again. Um we have this whole like list of words to describe fall, and I think they're all like fine and dandy and represent the season. But one word that like keeps coming to mind is rich and vibrant, and just how it goes from this really, and I mean,
Mm.
we're from the Northeast, right? Where the leaves are just
Oh,
so rich and vibrant, right?
beautiful.
And then to have it go from that extreme to then it going
Nothing.
inward or decaying or, mm, that inward phase of until next
Mhm.
season. Uh, yeah, I wanna celebrate the richness of fall.
And I fall's my favorite season. I love everything fall, the sea, like the weather, the outfits, the activities that we do. I like that the sun goes down a little bit earlier, so I feel more comfortable going inside a little bit earlier because I'm the type of person when the sun's out, I have to be out or I feel like I'm missing something, you know.
Mhm,
I love the
mhm.
sun. That's why I love the moon because I just love all the sun codes projected at me. Um so I'm excited. I'm excited to go pumpkin picking and carving. Halloween's my favorite holiday. We'll get to that. We'll talk about Halloween when we get closer. Okay. Um and fall is the season of water. And I love
Mm,
water.
mhm.
I consider myself a waterbender. I'm actually going to be a waterbender for Halloween, potentially. Um, I love the water. I think it recharges me. I mean, we know it recharges everyone, right? But I grew up on an island, and anytime I was sad or angry, or if anytime I was like having issues with a boyfriend or like a friend, even, we would always meet at the water to like talk things out and let things go. So it's very much that energy of like fluidity and like whereas like we had fire, fire, fire. Now we're trying to find that like, okay, where's my container? But I can also morph into anything. I can fit in the container with my community. I can morph into my container with myself. So just recognizing where something I like to think about when I think about the element of water is what state of water am I currently in? Am I frozen? Am I melting? Am I flowing like a river? Am I trickling waterfall? Am I rain? Am I steam? And that helps me kind of recognize where I am in my cycles and be able to move forward. So even like with the concept of fall, like where are you in your own personal cycle? No matter what fall is telling you you should feel or be, and know that there's another state. So if you feel frozen, don't fight the frozen. Be frozen. Know that you will melt and thaw and move again, right? Don't have resistance, suffering, the whole thing that you know the deal, right? Water.
As she sips tea.
As I sip tea.
Hold on a second. My eyes are getting
Um
really watery and like I'm like
Water.
edging. I know my tears are edging.
Ooh, your
No,
tears are
my dear friend sent me
edging.
a voice note today and gave me a little life update. And he's like, I'm emotionally edging right now. Like he knows he's about to cry today. He can feel it. And I'm like, emotional edging. Let's
I love
right.
that. Sit in that, feel that. Edging is a juicy spot to be in, you know what I mean? But we'll get to that in next episode of
Will we?
pleasure.
Are we talking about
Maybe.
that type of pleasure? I'm like, we're sniffing
Well,
cocoa or
see,
something.
that is for our FB after hours. If you'd like to pay for our Patreon, we'll be talking about that kind of pleasure.
No.
No, just kidding. We don't have one. I don't have the time for that unless you're willing to pay. Just kidding. Well, I don't have any more updates or things about fall. I feel like I said the damn thing. You got any other gifts of knowledge for us today?
Um, I think turning inward can feel like an icky and scary thing if you haven't been there in a while and you have been putting off dealing with certain aspects or things that are buried deep inside of you. So, I think
Mm,
taking the energy of Leo, which I want to stick up for Leo a little bit because it's not always me, me, me. I feel like that is the unevolved version. Trust me, my father's
mhm.
a Leo. Like I've witnessed it in its purest form. I'm a Leo rising. And I'd like to say the more evolved version of Leo is strong sense of self, courageous, but
Mm.
also is able to share the spotlight with others. And
Ooh.
just understanding kind of the spectrum of each sign, right? I think Leos, rightfully so, have a bad rap, but I also want to like start to present a new perspective of the evolved Leo.
Thank you, because zodiac is not my forte. So I would love for this season for you to help sprinkle in a little bit more about what's happening cosmically as it comes to you, or just being like, actually, nah, bitch, it's this.
Yeah, yeah. And, I've studied astrology for a really long time, and it's something that I'll talk about in conversation, but I don't necessarily present it as one of my spiritual tools, even though it very much is. And what's interesting is Tara and I have been reading Path of Empowerment or another Barbara Marshneck classic.
Path of
Is that what
empowerment.
it's called?
Every
Yeah.
season we got a new book.
Yeah. So this one was probably the most recent release, right? Or
I
the
think
most
so.
recent book
Yeah.
she had put out. But she talks about zodiac signs and from an energetic perspective, right?
Literally just read that. Literally just read that this morning.
Yes, yes. So I think I'm going to be pulling it from the energetic perspective and knowing it's not a belief, it's a tool. So take it for what
Yes.
it
Oh,
is.
girl.
And I think the other disclaimer as I dig deeper this season is I really come at it from the perspective of looking at the elements. And I know, Tara, that is one way we meet in the middle when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
us just
The
celebrating the
elements.
elements. So more to come.
Yes. Ah, guys, I'm happy about
Are
episode
you
1.
happy? You feel
And you
good?
know something? I do. And I feel that something Victoria and I talked about is season 1 and 2, whether it was just us or with a guest, really kind of set the foundation of like kind of like the baseline understanding of everything. Well, everything that, came to mind. There's plenty more out there, trust me. And we're kind of, especially with my evolved labeling of what a teacher is, I'm ready to kind of step out of the teacher role and have it be more conversational. So it is kind of funny that the first episode we chose to talk about fall because it is more of like a educational standpoint, right? Of like, what is fall? And like, I think we both tried to pull away from that a little bit and make it a little bit more lighthearted. But I'm really looking forward to whether it's just us or we'll have some more guests this season, not in an interview capacity, but just in a conversation. We want to hear their perspective. We want to hear your perspective. So things may seem a little different this season because we're not trying to teach you. We're just trying to be the radio station of what energy and information is coming through us and just like talking about what it looks like and how it feels. So that's why we want you to share with us what's going on in your life because that helps us stay in tune with the collective consciousness and how we're running the energy, right? I'm realizing that I'm such a energy runner and I want to hear your perspective. So, yeah, I feel good about this episode. I feel like we did the damn thing and I had fun.
It's only just begun. That's all the singing I'll be doing today.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, okay. I was waiting for more.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you for joining us. Please share our podcast word of mouth any way you want to. We love hearing from you and like, share, subscribe, whatever else there is to do. Oh, you could rate us.
Oh, yeah.
You could give us 5 stars or we're starting to put or we're trying out maybe putting some questions or
And this
things
is
next to our
specifically on
s-
Spotify.
oh, Spotify. We haven't tried it out yet. We're not really sure how it's going to work out or what it looks like on your end. But if you see a question on the bottom, take the survey. No, I'm kidding. All right. I've said enough.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Cheers to you and fall.
Happy equinox. Happy Maybon. Happy.
All Saints Day.
That's in November.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Happy Halloween. Happy birthday.
I thought, oh, happy birthday. Girl, I already started getting your birthday gift
Really?
together. Mm. All right, y'all. That's it now for us.
Love
We love you
y'all.
so much. Bye.
Bye.